Ya no necesitas buscar. Lo mejor del regional, urbano,
Me dijo mi madre que yo nunca me rajé.
pop y tropical está en una sola radio. 318 Latino. Por internet desde Shreveport.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, welcome, 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 one and all, to the beautiful State Fair of Louisiana. Wait. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Guys, thank you so much for being here on 318 Latino. My name is Brian Garcia, and here with us today, we have the president and CEO of the State Fair of Louisiana, here in the Shreveport area. How are you, Mr. Chris Giordano?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Thanks for having me on this morning.
And thank you for being here today. Thank you so much. And the reason for this interview we're having today is because they're due to the coronavirus and, of course, Jumanji 2020. We are having some delays on the fair this year, right? We're going to have to move it along.
We are. We actually sent out our press release this morning announcing that we're going to reschedule the 114th edition of the State Fair of Louisiana, which was set to occur this fall, but it's being rescheduled to April 29th through May the 9th of 2021. And as soon as that fair concludes, we will begin planning the 115th edition of the State Fair that will take place at its normal fall time frame beginning October 28th next year.
Wow. Well, it's interesting that we're going to double up next year then.
Double the fun in 2021.
That's right. So before we start getting more into what's coming up on the next State Fair of Louisiana, the 114th, tell us a little bit about the history of the fair. How 114, right? That means 114 years that it's been.
114 years. The fair began in 1906 when a group of leading citizens from the Shreveport area wanted to develop a showplace for agriculture, and that's what really developed the fair, was showcasing agricultural products, swapping ideas on farming and ranching and the different techniques used farming and ranching. Then several years later, some of the entertainment components started coming along with fairs, such as circuses and grandstands. There used to be an automobile track out at the fairgrounds that was torn down in the late 80s, but and carnival rides and so forth and so on. In our 114 years, there has only been one other fair that has been canceled, and that was in the year 1918 for very similar reasons. It was canceled in 1918 due to the Spanish flu pandemic that was taking place at that time. There were thoughts about possibly canceling the fair during World War II, but the board decided to have the fair anyway during wartime. So 1918 was the only one that was ever canceled, and technically we're not canceling this year. It's just not going to take place in 2020, and we'll postpone to next year.
Right. And tell us a little bit about how much is the fair impacting our community, because one of the biggest things that it does is it brings tourism into the area.
It brings a vast amount of tourism into the area. You know, we have so many different partners that are involved with the fair, including the Carnival Company, who employ hundreds of people during fair time. Of course, they also, as you know, use a lot of H-2B labor from Veracruz, Mexico. So our Carnival owner is very dedicated to those employees. He's been getting mostly the same employees that come over each year to work with him throughout the United States during his fair seasons. And they conclude their season here in Shreveport, Louisiana, before going back home to Veracruz. But it's having a great impact on all that H-2B labor, a lot of local labor that we hire, just hundreds of concessionaires that their livelihood depends on going to fairs and our state fair. Their whole business model is setting up at events like that, and most of them have been sidelined and out of business for the good majority of the year this year. We got all kinds of other partners. We do competitions like a car show that involves many people, cheerleading competitions. Our livestock shows involve just a great number of people that are staying in our hotel rooms during fair time. We host the state 4-H and FFA livestock shows, which fortunately we are going to be able to keep those this fall. And during our dates of October 29th through November 8th, 2020, we will have our Junior Livestock Shows, which involve the 4-H and the FFA, and we also have a commitment that we've had for over a year to host a National Brahman Cattle Show, and that will take place in our barns as well. The 4-H and FFA shows will be at the beginning part, October 29th, and it'll culminate on Wednesday, November the 4th, with a junior livestock sale for those that are fortunate enough to have a market animal that makes it to the sale. And about the time the sale is going on, the National Brahman Cattle Show will be moving into the barns, and they will show the final week of our livestock shows this year. We were fortunate to be able to do that because the barns are not fully enclosed in, so there is breezeway that goes through the barns, and according to our state fire marshal, the livestock shows are deemed essential, raising animals that are part of our food chain and exercising those animals. So we're very glad that we're able to continue to support our 4-H and our FFA this year, and so we'll get to do that. And we have another item planned for that time this year that will be open to the public. We invite everybody in our Ark-La-Tex community to come on out for a taste of the State Fair, which will be a food court of some of your favorite fair foods that will be set up outside. It'll be open to the public.
Excellent. Free
parking, free admission. It'll run from 11 a.m. to either 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. each day, October 29th through November 8th. So we were able to salvage that, but a lot of the other components of the fair are just not doable this year.
Right.
And our organization also has a duty to the community, and we're very concerned about the health, safety, and welfare of all of our fairgoers, partners, sponsors, and such. And with the continuing COVID-19 pandemic that is not completely cleared up yet, it's just not. We don't feel like it's in the best interest to open, and we also really are not allowed to open this year. Our state guidelines don't allow for it. Fairs and festivals are included in the other amusement section of the guidance that's published on opensafely.la.gov. The other amusement section has not been updated with the move to phase 3 now. So basically we're still closed. All the fairs and festivals around the state are closed. No carnivals are allowed. No carnival rides are allowed. And a lot of the activities at the fair that take place indoors are just not feasible at this time, such as the rodeo, the cheerleading competitions, the senior expo, due to the capacity limitations inside Hirsch Memorial Coliseum and our other buildings out there. So we do feel fortunate that we're able to move forward with the livestock shows and offer a taste of the state fair to our community. But the full state fair is just not doable, and we had to make a decision. We can't wait till the day before the state fair to decide whether we're having one or not. So, our board of directors made a tough decision last week that we decided to go ahead and not move forward with the full state fair this year. And rather than just canceling and waiting until October of next year, we made the decision to go ahead and postpone the fair and double up next year and have double the fun in 2021. So I'm really excited about a spring edition of the State Fair of Louisiana. We've never done that before. There's never been 2 state fairs in 1 year.
And one thing that sounds like we're going to have like a little early Cinco de Mayo or something like that.
We're going to have, well, I mentioned the dates are April 29 through May the 9th. So, Cinco de Mayo happens to fall right in the middle of the spring state fair. So we will have the largest Cinco de Mayo celebration that the Ark-La-Tex has ever seen.
Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Well, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but that's all very exciting, very interesting. I like the fact that we're not just completely canceling out the fair, that they're still going to have the cattle stuff going on, and that we get to double up next year. So that's really, really cool. Let's go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
318 Latino por internet desde Shreveport.
Say CC, Mickey's Mexican Restaurant. Say C to the great taste. Say CC, Mickey's Mexican Restaurant. Say C to the great taste.
Hi, I am Morgan Crowell with Crowell Bankruptcy Preparations. I am a certified paralegal and have been in the bankruptcy field for almost 10 years. So if you are looking to file a Chapter 7, call my office today and I can help you with your bankruptcy needs. I work in all 50 states, and in most states the fee is $200. So give me a call today and I will give you one-on-one assistance.
Desde Shreveport, 318 Latino.
All right. We're back on 318 Latino, and here with us today we have Mr. Chris Giordano, President and CEO of the State Fair of Louisiana. Thank you again so much for being here. And well, we've talked about the decisions that had to be made because of COVID-19. Now, let me ask you this again, just to be clear with the people. We just entered Phase 3 in the state of Louisiana. That didn't add, the state fair, stuff like that. That just
It hasn't. The section of the guidance that pertains to fairs and festivals and some other amusements and carnival midways, the other amusement section in the opensafely.la.gov, it has not had any revisions entering the new Phase 3. So we're still stuck with the guidance we've been stuck with since the middle of March, which it's a no-go for fairs and festivals. It's a no-go for carnival rides. The other section that really pertains to our business out at the fairgrounds is the event center section, which are basically like convention buildings and Hirsch Coliseum. And right now, even moving into Phase 3, those buildings are limited to 250 persons, and it's just not feasible to have the activities or to try to have activities
even with
in
the
Hirsch Coliseum.
That big open area?
Yes, even with Hirsch. The guidance specifically says you're at 50% capacity with a 250 person cap. So you can't go over 250 people. And our rodeo, our senior expo, our cheerleading competitions, they're just not possible under those restrictions. And we understand the restrictions to try to limit the gathering sizes and such, but it's just very unfortunate because not only is the State Fair of Louisiana a big annual event, but it's a year-round business, and it is a business. Even though it sounds like a lot of fun and games, it's a business that relies on revenue to exceed expenses in order to stay in business. And under the guidance with the COVID restrictions, basically we've been out of business since the middle of March because
to do business,
the limitations have been so low that we haven't even been able to rent our facilities for weddings and quinceaneras. You won't believe how many quinceaneras that we have postponed this year or canceled. We've had one that's postponed like 3 times, and now they're going to have their quinceanera next year, so it's really going to be something else because the girl's going to be 16, right? So anyway, so it's been a very, very tough and challenging year, and I think postponing the 114th State Fair to the spring, it'll give our community an opportunity to enjoy the fair at a sooner time. And for our organization, we're just going to have to grin and bear it and tough it out through the winter months. But for our financial model, it was not feasible for us to cancel the fair and wait until October of next year to produce the fair again. So we're going to produce the spring edition, and that way we're able to financially start taking in deposits and things like that in early January of next year to get ready for the 114th fair in the spring.
Yes, sir. Well, that's very interesting. There's got to be other ways that we can support events like the fair, right? Like, I don't know, are you guys taking donations, stuff like that for the fair?
We haven't put anything like that out there yet. We do have a reserve. We had a very rainy fair in 2015, so we had to tap into our reserve a great deal, and we have not been able to put it all back. So, but we do still maintain a reserve, and we'll probably end up having to tap into it in the coming months to get us through. But we're exploring all other options as well, possibly when we are able to open back up fully, producing some additional events, not on the scale as the fair, but some other smaller events that we may produce as an organization. And I'm really excited, or will be excited, once we can invite promoters and invite event planners back in to plan their events, and the individuals that we deal with on the private functions as well. It's just been really tough having to postpone and cancel, and we're at a point with the fair that we had to make that decision. But one opportunity for us and for the community will be that Taste of the State Fair that'll take place this October 29th through November the 8th. And we're going to have a wide assortment of fair food, easily accessible, in an outdoor food court with all the mitigation measures in place. And the public can come out during that time frame. You won't have to pay to park, and you won't have to pay to get in the food court and make your fair food purchases. So we're trying to salvage what little bit of the state fair we can this fall.
Right, and guys, just come in, enjoy it, try to make the best of it, and of course, get ready for that double up next year. We're gonna have that double spring and fall fair.
First time ever in our history, 2 state fairs in 1 year, spring and fall, and it just I'm really excited that Cinco de Mayo falls during the spring edition.
Right. Well, I mean, I can only imagine what you guys are going to be doing for Cinco de Mayo. I do believe last year during the fair we had the biggest turnout for Hispanic Day at the fair.
We absolutely did, and it was great partnering with this company, 318 Latino, and Nikki's Mexican Restaurant, and our other partners, and we're all going to get back together in the spring and really blow it out for Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That's going to be great. All right, Mr. Chris Giordano, thank you so much for being here with us today. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the public?
I would just like to say we're disappointed as you are to our community. We appreciate your support, and we hope that you just ride this wave with us until we get to have double the fun in 2021.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we hope the best for the State Fair of Louisiana and for the people of Shreveport to go and have as much fun as possible next year on the 114th and 115th State Fair of Louisiana. Thank you again so much for being here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been 318 Latino, an interview with Mr. Chris Giordano. Don't forget to comment, like, and share, and we'll be back with you next time around on 318 Latino. Hasta la vista.